Cheer. You already know it's your boy Joe back at it again, CodingPhase.com. Your boy's backing out and did it again one more time. This time, we have a very special topic for the Back at It Again podcast by CodingPhase. Okay, so welcome to the podcast, guys. Um, let me clear my throat real quick. Clear it up. But yeah, man, let's talk about it, man. Are you really a developer, right? Now, that's a big question, right? That's a big question that only you can answer, right? Are you really a developer or just a guy with a hobby, a girl with a hobby, right? You know, whatever you want to call yourself with a hobby, right? You could call yourself a furry, you could call yourself whatever you want. It's up to you, man. But again, are you just a person with a hobby or are you really a developer? Now, you have to understand this concept, right? Before we even go even deeper with it, okay? You have to understand the concept that to really be a developer, you have to understand that you are in the service industry, okay? When you are a developer, right, you're really creating tools, you're really creating services, you're creating applications, experiences for other individuals, okay? And sometimes you can also create experiences for yourself, okay? Like I create tools that help me grow my business and I build them from the ground up, okay? I have a dashboard where I can look at all of my income, everything that's coming in from Google AdSense, from Stripe, from PayPal, from Teachable, from literally from everything that's out there that I use. Okay, it could be affiliate marketing from Udemy. There's links below, right? So as you guys can see, I have some links that give you access to courses either by me or even guys that I really trust and like you know, Traversing Media, Stephen Grider, etc. Right? Those things generate me income. I create tools that, at the end of the day, this whole dashboard, right, for example, is beneficial to me. But again, going back to the main topic, are you really a developer if you're not building anything? And even to go deeper, are you creating stuff that people will pay for? Are you creating things that people will use? Are you creating things that people will hire you for? I think a lot of people come into this game and they get interested in programming because they find it to be fun. They get interested in programming because they, find out that, hey, I could do something that pretty much is just me by myself in front of a computer. Maybe I don't have to talk to nobody. Maybe I don't have to be super social, right? Um, Maybe I don't have to be a leader, right? And sometimes that happens, right? Some people, they choose to become programmers and developers because they find those things. And the cherry on the top, shit, you can make a lot of money as a developer. But again, going back to the main question, and I'm going to continue going back to the main question so you could answer it to yourself while you're listening to this and watching this on YouTube live. Are you really a developer, right? Are you really a developer, right? Or are you just a person with a hobby? Now, again, we live in a world where, you know, what we do is a service. It's a service either to ourselves or a service to the world, users, companies, etc. Right? Now, I notice a lot that a lot of people come into the game, with this idea that, oh, I'm just going to learn how to code. Okay, cool. You learn how to code. But again, going back to the question, are you a developer or just a guy with a hobby? You know, what's this guy's name? Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh is an NBA player. And if you guys don't know, Chris Bosh, he knows how to code. But is Chris Bosh a developer or just a guy with a hobby? I mean, where does Chris Bosh work at? What has Chris Bosh created? Okay? That's a question that only Chris Bosh can actually answer. Now, I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples, right? Are you really a doctor, right, if you've never helped anybody? Are you really a doctor? You never worked at a hospital. Are you really a doctor if somebody was choking and you didn't get to save them or help them out? Are you really a doctor if you never had human to human interaction? Are you really a doctor or just somebody with a degree, with a piece of paper? You get what I'm saying? Are you a lawyer or you just some dude that has a piece of paper? Have you ever been in a court? Right? Have you ever been to the courthouse? Have you ever defended anybody? Have you ever accused anybody of anything? You get what I'm saying? Going back to the perfect example that I always say for developers is that we're very similar to mechanics. Okay? You might say, yeah, sort of, kind of, right? We're using tools that most of the time other people have created. We're able to fix things. We're able to create things. We're able to do a lot of things, right? But at the end of the day, are you really a mechanic if you never touched the car? Are you really a mechanic if you've never fixed the car? Are you really a mechanic if you never fixed somebody else's car? Okay? Again, we're in the service industry. So that's something that you have to answer to. Okay? So this is the topic of today's podcast. Okay? Some of you guys might be wondering, here comes Joe with his philosophical shit. You know what I mean? But it's really things that you could apply to your life, right? This week we dropped a very controversial video where it seems like it's picking up. Seems like a lot of people like it. A lot of people are enjoying it. Most likely I won't make one of those videos again. You know me. I don't play the YouTube algorithm. We'll make them. Hey, it's cool, but we won't milk it. Okay? But at the end of the day, the video seems like it's popping off. The video is talking about, the MERN stack, right? We're talking about the MERN stack. We're talking about how the MERN stack can be just horrible for a junior developer. And some people could say, shit, Joe, you just hate on the MERN stack. You don't like the MERN stack. And that could be false. You might think it's true, but it's not. I like the MERN stack. I like building things with, the MERN stack and Node.js, React, etc. The whole world, the whole JavaScript ecosystem. I love it. But at the same time, I'm putting myself in the shoes of Joe in 2020 as a junior developer who's learning at home from YouTube, from Twitter, from blog posts on Medium or dev.to or freaking Pluralsight, Team Treehouse, freaking CodingPhase.com. Shit. Little Joe could be learning at home at CodingPhase.com, just in case you didn't know. Okay, we got courses, yeah. Over 80 courses in there, $20. Take advantage. Get access to everything. It's like Netflix. But going to what I'm saying with this is, this topic is becoming popular. This video is becoming popular. And it's because people have been wondering this, right? Am I making the right decision? Now, a lot of people will tell you, hey, little Billy, hey, little Joe, make sure that you learn the MERN stack. This is what you need to be focused on. And I want to be clear with it. Learning React is essential right now to become a web developer and getting hired, right? That's what probably 60-70% of the industry is using. But when we say the MERN stack, we're really focusing on that whole ecosystem of just MongoDB, React, right? Express, Node.js. And a lot of people don't understand that the reason why most instructors teach that is because it's easier on them to teach it. It's easy on them to teach something that everything is similar to each other. And it's actually easier for the student to learn something that is easier to learn. Okay? Now, this reminds me of Ruby on Rails when Ruby on Rails was popping. It was the most popular thing in the world. Okay, it was the most trendiest thing. I'm talking about 2011, 2012, man. If you guys could go back into time, man, I'm telling you guys, everything that you're seeing right now is the same thing that we saw with Ruby on Rails. And Ruby on Rails is great, just like how MERN Stack is right now. It's a great ecosystem. But at the end of the day, what are companies going to go for? You know? And that goes back to the main question. Are you really a developer? Are you a guy that just has a hobby that's learning at home? Or do you really want to get results? Do you really want to go and get a job? Right? I don't know about you guys. When I started learning to code, I was in a position where I didn't have the luxury to just learn. I didn't have the luxury to say, I'm just going to learn because I want to learn. Nah, I want to learn because I need to get a job. And that's the same position that most people are in. So if you're focusing on something that most likely won't get you a job initially, we're not talking about the guys that, been here for 5, 10 years. Yeah, we know there's a lot of jobs for Node.js and the MERN stack, etc. But are there a lot of jobs for junior developers? Put yourself in that position. Understand which position you're in. When you listen to somebody, a YouTuber, a blogger, a freaking guy that's popular on Twitter, a guy that's popular on Instagram, and tells you, hey, this is what you need to learn. You need to ask yourself and say, is this guy telling me this thing out of my own benefit or because he loves it? Because he's in a position where if he wants to become a freaking Node.js developer, MERN stack developer, right? He could get that job. But what about me? I'm just that guy learning at home. I'm just that guy, you know, doing what I have to do to try to get this job. What am I here for? Right? What is the goal? What is it that you want out of this? Right? And again, it goes back to the same question. Shit, you can learn the MERN stack. You could learn the Teletubby framework. You could learn whatever is out there, whatever comes out today and tomorrow and the day after. You can learn all of that. But can you get a job with it? Can you pay your bills with it? Okay? Can you clearly say, hey, I have experience with this? Not just stuff that you built on your own, right? Because sometimes people take it as if what they're building on their own, like it's gospel. And it's not. Let's be honest, it's not. If nobody's actually really judging you for what you built, or saying, hey man, this user experience is not that good. Hey, this thing is loading too slow. Hey, this thing is not actually working on this page. Hey, there's an error here. Hey, there's supposed to be some validation put here. Like, those are things that you're not going to test yourself. You get what I'm saying? The average developer is not going to say, shit, I'm going to test the shit out of my application. They're not. They're going to build something, put a piece of gum and a paper clip and do a couple of keys on the keyboards, and that's it. That's an app. It's the same thing as a guy that comes in and says, hey, I'm a mechanic. I could fix my car. I could somehow make this shit still run. But when you take them to the shop and they give them any other type of car, can they really fix it? Or you just was a guy with a hobby? You get what I'm saying? Understand what I'm trying to give you guys with this podcast. All right? I'm trying to give you guys the knowledge to really understand the world, understand what position you're in. You want to come in with that ability to say, you know what? I need to make the right decision for myself. I need to figure out what's going to get me in the game. What exactly am I here for? Do I want to be just a guy with a freaking, 365 days of GitHub repo, just like pushing things? And I'm like, hey, I got the little green little box. There's a lot of guys like that. I'm telling you guys, go check out Stack Overflow. There's a whole bunch of guys in there that are helping other people and have never worked a day in their lives as developer. And those are the guys that will tell you, You shouldn't do PHP. You shouldn't do C sharp. You shouldn't do Ruby. You shouldn't do Python. You shouldn't do this and that. Those are the guys that will tell you that. A lot of guys never even worked a day in their lives. Shit, there's a lot of guys that's on YouTube that never worked a day in their lives. They got like 6 months of experience and they're telling you what to do. Understand that? Like a year ago, they started learning how to code. 6 months later, they got a job. And 6 months later, they're selling you a course. And that's shit that nobody talks about. Right? So, again, now you innocently, you don't know that. You don't know that whole background. You don't know their whole information. You know what have they really done? But you take it as gospel and you say, hey man, I gotta learn the mercy. This thing is popular. This thing got 100,000 views. This shit got a million views. You know what I'm saying? This got a million views. What's interesting about like what I do here on YouTube, I'm not the most popular. I'm not the most trendy dude, right? But somehow I get respect from all of the guys that have over 10 years of experience in the game. I'm not the most popular dude. But the things that I give you, you could go through my videos and look at the comments and you'll see it. You'll see like, I've been in the game for 10 years. I've been in the game for 7 years. I've been in the game for 8 years. You're right, Joe. I'm glad you're speaking about it. I'm glad this, and that. And low key, a lot of people, they listen to what I say and they like, yeah, you're right, Joe. You're right. Right? So people do agree with what I'm saying because when I come in here, I'm not trying to bullshit you. I'm not trying to give you guys a pump fake. You get what I'm saying? I'm giving you guys the 3-point shot that you need to win the game. That's what I'm giving you. And again, going back to what we were saying, I'm going to continue saying this throughout this whole podcast, so don't get annoyed. Are you really a developer or are you just a dude with a freaking hobby? You get what I'm saying? Are you just a guy with a hobby? Now, if you want to become a developer, you need to get a developer job. Shit, if you don't get a developer job, you need to make money from becoming a developer. It's not good enough to just say, I got the skills, I got the projects, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know what you're talking about, but you never really practiced it. You get what I'm saying? You can't be a doctor if you never helped nobody. You never worked at a hospital. You just can't. You got a piece of paper. You got some theory. You know shit in theory, but you've never been in action. You can't say, I'm a soldier. You're a soldier, but you never had a gun in your hand. You're a soldier, you never took the training. You're a soldier, you never went to war. You're not a soldier. You're just a dude that on July 4th puts on a freaking, freaking costume, basically, because it's not a uniform. What they call it? Was it stolen valor or something like that? Or something like that, right? That's what people call it, right? I don't even know the word for it. But that's what you really are if you're not really going out there. You want to get props of being a developer. Hey, I know how to code. What have you built? How much money your applications have actually, generated? What problems have you solved? How many users have actually used it? You get what I'm saying? That's what makes you a developer. It's not just getting a job, but there's a lot of little things. And those are little things that come with it. You can't really become a developer until you have those little checklists. It's like a bucket list. You're not really a developer. Don't call yourself a developer. You're just a dude with a hobby. And you have to understand why you have a hobby. Why is it that you're taking this thing as a hobby? You're not making the right decisions for yourself. You want to get in the game, man. That's my advice for you guys, man. There's no course in the world I've seen every single person that has made a course. I could almost say that there's a lot of people that now pop up and they're making courses. Every single developer that every single developer that doesn't want to work as a developer makes a course now. Every single developer that doesn't want to work for somebody is opening up a YouTube. Okay, so I can't keep up with everybody. But what I can tell you is that I've seen enough people, enough courses out here that I can tell you that there's no course, and not even mine, right? Because some people always say, Joe, but you got courses, so you're probably just talking shit about the rest of the world because you want us to stop what we're doing over there and sign up with you, Joe. Nah, you sign up if you want to. That's a way to support what I do and the type of content that I give you, right? Not only am I helping you, but you also supporting and showing love to what I do here for you, right? But you don't have to. Now, what I'm saying with that is that all of these courses that are out there, even including mine, can never prepare you as much as getting a real job. It can never prepare you as much as you getting a real client. It can never prepare you as much as you launching your own startup or your own microservice or your own software as a service. It can never prepare you by just taking a course. None of the courses that's out here, all of the courses that are out here, including mine, right, are teaching you the syntax. Some people got good projects, some people got shitty projects, some people give you guys a perfect world of applications with no problems, applications with no bugs, right? Somebody might come to my courses and say, Joe, this course is a little bit longer. Yeah, it's probably a little bit longer. Some guy comes in and shows you probably the same type of course in 10 hours. I'll show it to you in 15. Now you probably asking, Joe, but what's the extra 5 hours? I skip a lot of things, but we keep the errors. We keep the problems that we encounter. So your brain can see what's happening. So not every single course is perfect. That's one of the worst things that instructors do. They give you a perfect world of, like a course and say, hey, we're building a project and the project has 0 errors. So you as a developer, right, that's learning at home, the guy that's trying to get into the game, take a course. And when you bump into a problem, the first thing that you do is email the instructor and say, how do we fix this? Hey, I got this error. How did I fix this? Right? And the reason why you do that is because they never show you that there was any errors. You thought that development was perfect, and it's not. Development comes with errors. 50% is you coding, 50% is you actually bumping into problems and you solving them. So that's why I take my time with it. I make sure that I keep those things, because those are the things that I wish somebody would have taught me. When I was learning how to code, I always go back to those days in 2011. I always felt like shit. Always felt like shit. And I'll tell you why. Because I will always see the instructors in the courses that I was taking, and everything worked. Everything was perfect. Everything worked to the T. Like literally. Like I'm like, damn, this guy must be a genius, this and that. And then when I started doing courses in 2017, right? We're talking about 6 years later, I realized, I'm like, holy shit, I've been bamboozled. Nobody keeps the errors. They show you a 10-minute video, but don't show you the 20 minutes that it took them to get there. Don't show you the extra 5 minutes to figure out where was the problem. And when you encounter those things, you get stuck there. You're like, oh shit, man. I didn't know. I didn't know this shit was hard. It is hard. You got to use your brain. This whole career, right? It comes with a major requirement. It's actually easy. Learning to code is easy, but it comes with a requirement. And the requirement is you got to use your brain. You're not the type of dude that likes to use your brain? This shit is not for you. If you was born to be lifting boxes in a warehouse and you feel good when you're under the sun, under a rooftop, fixing the roof, even though that job might be giving you $40,000, $50,000 a year, but in your head you're like, man, I wish I could get a job that would pay me $120,000. And you see this video here talking about, I want to become a developer. I want to do this and that, and this is how much money I make. And holy shit, Joe is in the Mercedes Benz and $100,000 something dollars, and he's good. He got his house. Shit, I want to be that guy, right? But at the same time, there's a requirement to this. You got to use your brain. If you're a guy that you're good with your hands, this shit it might not be for you. If you've never really, you built up the muscles. You went to the gym. You're the most diesel guy at the freaking construction site. But you never read a book. You never fucking looked at a documentary. You never went out of your way and did a puzzle, right? You never went and built a Gundam model kit. Those are little things that the average person can do just to work out their brain. Because one thing that this thing is going to do for you, becoming a developer, is going to test you. It's going to test you logically. Can you really solve a problem? You get what I'm saying? And if you didn't train your brain for this career is not going to be for you. Again, going back to what we were saying. Are you really a developer or a guy with a hobby? Do you really want to get into this industry? Then if you want to get into the industry, you got to come in with a strategy. Especially if you're learning at home. Instructors, YouTubers, bloggers, whatever. Let's just say influencers. They make it seem like it's so easy to get into the industry, right? They make it seem like it's so easy to get into the industry. And a lot of people teach what they enjoy. Again, keep that in mind. A lot of people teach what they enjoy. Let's say right now, I really enjoy Crystal Lang. Crystal Lang, if you guys don't know, is a programming language that has the syntax of Ruby, is as fast as C, and it's a beautiful language. I love Crystal. But if I sit down here and I tell you guys, I'm going to teach you programming, I'm going to teach you the latest thing, this latest programming language, this is the best thing that's going to be out there, and I'm going to prepare you to become a Crystal Lang developer, and then when you go out there, you realize, shit, all of the guys that are getting jobs for Crystal Lang, they have like 5-10 years of experience. You as a junior developer, you don't have that. You get what I'm saying? So what's your strategy? Your strategy is to build that 1 year experience. Because once you have 1 year of experience, that's a solid experience for a developer. Lowering it down to my windows, just in case, for those of you guys that are listening through the podcast in the future. But again, it's one of those situations. I will definitely say it's one of those situations of, you have to make the right decision for yourself. You live in a city where everybody is using, I don't know, C#. So if you look online and you look like, hey, I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and everybody in Jacksonville, Florida is using C# or WordPress, what are you doing building 20 projects in Node.js? It don't matter how many projects you're going to build for Node.js. Most likely, because you only have Node.js experience, you're not going to get the opportunity to work in a WordPress shop or work in a C# shop. You're not getting that. And another thing that I want to say is you have to get this thing out of your head. Whatever is the exception, that does not make it normal. Okay? That's what I call the lottery phenomenon. When somebody wins the lottery, and for the next 5-10 years, there's hundreds of thousands of people that play the lottery every single day and think they're gonna win the lottery that day. What do I mean by that? A guy comes in and says, hey, I took XYZ's website course, right? XYZ.com, went to XYZ.com. I learned a course. They told me about the freaking the MERN stack or whatever stack it might be. And shit, I got a $180,000 job. Okay, cool. We applaud that. We're happy for him. But you have to be stupid, and I mean literally stupid, to believe that that's what they're giving to everybody. You have to make a decision and understand that most likely you're not getting that, right? You gotta get that by working towards it, okay? And you being at home having a dream of becoming a developer or getting in the game doesn't mean or guarantees you that you're gonna get that offer. You get what I'm saying? One guy gets something, right? And you see 50 other people be like, I gotta go for that. This is, oh my God, they're giving $180,000 for that? And then you show up and like, you don't even get an email back. You don't get a call back. That's not what's happening everywhere. One guy got it, that doesn't mean that everybody's getting it. What you want to look for is the average. It's the average. It's like, I always talk about boot camps, and I don't talk about boot camps in like the best way. Not because I don't like boot camps. I like the idea of a boot camp. I wanted to go to a boot camp. Shit. I was going to go at one point to Full Stack Academy. I even applied. And they put me on layaway. They say, we got to wait until next semester or whatever because XYZ amount of students already registered, I was going to sign up to a boot camp, right? That was probably on like my eighth, ninth month of me learning how to code. I was like, man, because I was doubting myself. I was like, man, I've been at home for XYZ amount of time, 6 months, 7, 8 months. And you know what? I still don't feel confident enough. So I keep seeing these ads from this boot camp, and they're only charging like $15,000. So I could put that on a loan, and I could pay it off. If they're gonna give me a job, shit, I could pay that shit off by the end of the year. If they give me a $120,000 job, I'll pay that shit by the end of the year, right? I was gonna go to a boot camp, but then I realized, I was like, oh shit, they put me on layaway. And what was I supposed to do? Just wait until they until they want to bring me into the next semester? That was the best thing that could happen to me, because what I did was I just started applying to jobs. And then I got a job, and then I was like, damn shit, I got a job now, and right now I could have been at a boot camp. Like, it's funny, I'm learning at home, and I'm insecure thinking that I can't get a job. And then when I apply, go to the interviews, I got the job, and I'm looking around like, shit, right now, this would have been my first or second week inside of a boot camp. I just dodged the bullet. I thought that was the only way I was going to get a job. But again, going back to what I was saying, like, sometimes we feel like we need that, right? And we look at those success stories, right? And come in and say, oh, this person got freaking $120,000 job, or this and that. Like, isn't it funny? Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, for anybody that follows me on YouTube or any platform, haven't you guys noticed that I never come in and share anybody that has ever earned more than $80,000 in, after they have taken my courses? I'm gonna wait. Somebody's out there is like, oh shit, scratching their head. That's true, Joe. You never really have shared that before. But that doesn't mean that some of my students are earning that right now, right? They are. But you know what's interesting? I don't come in and share those stories because I don't want to give you a false hope. If it happens, it happens. But I share the stories of the people that come in, get a $50,000 job, $60,000 job, $70,000 job, $80,000 job. I don't share things that happen to people because they were at the right place, at the right time, at the right company where they had the right budget, where they could take in a junior developer that have no experience and they're gonna train him for the next 6 months. I don't share those experiences because if I share those, I'm giving you false hope. Now, boot camps, that's what they do. They come in and handpick people that have had success, right, from their boot camp, and they say, which one are the one that's going to XYZ website or XYZ company that's going to give us some clout and it's going to attract more people, right? I'd rather give you guys the real thing, right? The real average that you're most likely is going to get. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what you as the consumer, the student, the customer, that's what you need to be looking for. What's the average? Don't give me the highs. Give me the average. Because the average is where you're most likely going to find yourself in the beginning. And having a real picture of the opportunities that's available to you as a junior developer, it'll give you a better chance of getting a job faster. Because sometimes people come in with a thought in their head of, hey man, I'm not taking the job if they don't give me 120. I saw a guy that was going to my boot camp, that was going to my website that I go to. I saw him on a forum. I saw him in a group on Facebook. I saw him on a Discord, and he got 100 and something thousand. And what people don't understand is like, yo, he was at the right place at the right time. That opportunity that you are letting go, excuse me, right now, shit, that was your opportunity. They gave you a $60,000 opportunity to get into the game. Take it. But because somebody trained you and taught you that, hey, you're going to get a $120,000 job starting off, they fucking manipulated your mind into thinking that that's what you was going to get. And anything that below that is wrong, when in reality it's not. That's the norm. I see guys all the time here for 6, 9, 10 months. I've seen people a year and a half without a job, waiting for that dream job. Nah, man. I saw a guy, look, this guy should stay nameless right now, right? I'm not putting his name out there. But I know a guy that went to a boot camp, is a year and a half in, after he already graduated, and he's not taking a job because he's waiting for that $120,000 job. He says, a couple of guys in my class that we graduated, they got it. I should be able to get it. You have a year and a half already. You're telling me you're you have a year and a half. You're telling me you're not taking a job because 2 guys in a class of 20 got a job that's $120,000? Nah, I'm not taking it, man. I'm not taking it. I know what I could do better. You could do better, but then now look around you. You got a year and a half. Calculate that. How much is that? I don't even know the exact number, but let's say you got $60,000, $70,000 a year offer, right? And you missed already a whole year, and now you're on a whole year and a half. By now, how much is that? That's like $90,000, $80,000, $100,000 that you missed out on already. You get what I'm saying? that you could have had already. And right now you would have had a year and a half of experience that you could have been working somewhere else and getting that 100,000 or the 90,000, you know, working towards it. But that's the thing, and that's why that's the topic of this podcast. Are you really a developer, right? Or are you just a guy with a hobby? Because if you're a guy with a hobby, we can't put you and run the same standards that we run on a guy that's trying to become a developer. If you're a guy with a hobby, shit, man, go ahead, go build your little, your little to-do apps, man. Go ahead, man, and build your little JavaScript calculators. Go ahead, man, go kill the whole free code camp curriculum, man. You got time, man. That's a hobby. You do this shit for fun. We're not gonna judge you. But the guy that is saying, I want to become a developer, this is what I want to do, I did this and that, we judging you, bro. A year and a half in, you can't get a job, we judging you. 2 years in, we judging you, bro. 3 years in, we judging you. That's it. We judging you because if this is what you say you want to become and what you want to do, and you still not making it happen, it's not really on the companies or the world or the destiny. It's really on you, bro. It's really on you. It's really on you because you're not doing the things that you need to get that job. You're not doing the things that you need to get that opportunity. I look at an example of, the person that I put in the video where I talk about the MERN stack. And dude is like, he's frustrated. He's tight right now. He's like, man, I got 20 projects. I got, more things than they even asked for. I got this, and that. And I still can't find a job. These YouTubers are lying. They're capping. YouTubers are capping out here, bro. They're saying there's so many jobs. And it's like, bro, you probably live in an area where they don't even have no Node.js job. And you in your head, you think, I'm going to show them, like, I got 6 projects that are solid. Once you hit 6 projects and you can't get a job, you got to start asking yourself, are the projects good, the first 6 that I did, or am I actually applying to the right places? Because that idea of doubling down and tripling down, quadrupling down on what you already have is stupid. You start looking around, you think about it, and you say, I got 20 projects. Once you did 5, 6 projects, you didn't get no results, you got to tweak them. You still don't get no results, there's something wrong with that stack that you're using. You got to look and do research in your area and look around. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? You understand web development. Now switch it up to the things that the jobs that's going to hire you. You know what I'm saying? Switch it up. Because if you're looking around and you're like, man, I'm going to double down on this. I got 10 projects. They won't say no to me. You still don't get a call back. You're applying to companies and they're looking around like, yo, there's so many better developers out here, so many people that have experience with the things that we actually built here at this company, right? And then you're like, nah, man, I doubled down, I'm gonna triple down. I got 15 projects now. What they gonna say? You still don't get a call back. You still don't get an interview. Now you say, F that, I'm gonna quadruple down. I'm doing 20 projects, 20 solid projects. They can't say no to me. Are they really? You think they're going to give you the job because you showed up, I got the most projects in the game. Dudes show up and be like, man, I got the most projects in the game. Not knowing that most of the time, the guys that get hired have like 2 solid projects. You get what I'm saying? This is the secret that nobody tells you. You go in and you build a whole bunch of projects and you don't understand that it's like a portfolio. The idea of a portfolio comes from the world of art. If you guys don't know what a portfolio is, look it up. Go search the word portfolio on Google. And what you're going to find is that portfolio really comes from back in the days when people would show up with a portfolio of different art pieces. What most of you guys show up with to a job interview is with doodles. You doodle on a piece of paper and you show up to the job interview and say, hey man, and I'm talking about this is the equivalent to a developer getting a job, right? Right? You show up with a doodle of what an art piece is, and you say, hey man, this is my art pieces. I got 77 art pieces. There's a whole bunch of freaking scribbles. There's a whole bunch of freaking, you know, doodles of like you trying to draw something. It's not about the quantity, it's the quality, right? A portfolio is something that should show the best of you, and then you have to tweak it to show, hey man, hire me, because when you hire me, I'm getting you, and I'm giving you guys results. One thing that employers want is that if we're gonna pay you for something, there's no training. There's no, we're gonna hold this guy's hand for the next 6 months, and this is not Google, bro. Google got Google money. You get what I'm saying? So if you like Google, go do your Googles for companies that are not like Google, right? Because I just said Google like a million times. Okay? We put Google, we search Google on Google, what's the Google money? Okay? Sorry, guys. This is where I just have fun with words. Okay? But what I'm saying with that is that you have to go in there and make sure that that portfolio is like the best of the best and shows those companies that's gonna hire you that you are the guy for them, that nobody else is better than you, that when they tell you on Monday, hey, can you build this, even though most likely they're not, most companies don't really have you working on nothing hard for the whole first month, but you want to give them that confidence of like, bro, when you hire me, I already know what you guys are building. I already know what you guys are working with. I already have projects that are very similar to what you guys are already working with. The guy that can show that he has the most skills, the guy that can show that he can work with the team, the guy that can show that when he joins the team it's going to be seamless, that's the guy that gets the job. Now, of course, there's companies, again, like I said, like Google, Facebook, where they take chances on people. There's people that go and get hired at a lot of these companies that are great technical developers, but can't build shit. So they spoon feed them projects, right? You can look it up. Go search guys that are really talking about when they first just got hired to Google. They spoon feed them for like 6 months. By that time, they could learn the whole stack. They could learn everything that is about the company, how the company works, how the different projects get, situated to everybody, etc. Shit, everybody would love to have the opportunity to go to a company that will pay you good and train you. But that's why going to those companies is so difficult. That's why people don't understand that. You know, there's college students that graduate from an Ivy League school. They got great computer science theory, but never built nothing solid. But they can pass the interview because they have 4 years if they're smart, right? The smart ones. The stupid ones just go to college and they fuck around. They get drunk every day and smashing shorties and going to parties. Those are the dumb ones. The smart ones, from day one on the junior year, they're already practicing their algorithms. They're already preparing, internships. They're already preparing themselves for a whole bunch of things to get to those companies. You, as a self-taught developer, you don't have that luxury. You don't have 4 years to burn. You know who has 4 years to burn? A 17-year-old. He don't got shit to do. He's 17 years old. He just graduated. 17, 18, 19, 20. By the time he's 21, he could go and apply to Google. Google says, hey, this kid has the foundation. He already passed all the interviews. We're going to come in and train him for XYZ, right? X amount of projects and this and that. They have the time for it, right? Now, there's the other case of the guys that go work at Google that have 5 years, 10 years of experience working in the industry and then get to Google. There's plenty of guys that are self-taught that work at those companies, but they had a plan, a career path that they was planning for. And before they start applying to those companies, they prepare themselves. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what it is, man. So my advice for you guys is like, just be realistic, man. Go to where you're gonna get your first job. You know, 3 blocks away from you, there's a WordPress shop. They might pay you, $25 an hour. Shit, that's better than what you was doing in your last job. Or maybe it's a little pay cut. But in the long term, you're gonna get results. You're gonna get to that $100,000 job. It's a career path that you're on. But you can't be on the career path if you're on the sidewalk. If you're on the sidewalk and you're looking, it's like they're having a race. They're having a race, and you know how they do those marathons with people and with bike marathons, whatever, like bike races, etc. There's guys that's on the sidewalk talking about, I could do that shit better than them. I bet you I could. This guy, look at this guy sweating. Look at this guy reaching out for a water bottle. I bet you I could go in and make it to the race, right? Finish the whole marathon without reaching for no water bottle. It's nice to talk about things that you don't know about from the sidewalk. But what you want to be, the guy on the sidewalk or the guy on the path, right? That's what you want to do. You want to get on that pathway, man. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about, man. So at the end of the day, man, are you really a developer or are you a guy with a freaking hobby? That's something that you can really answer. Okay? So yeah, man, y'all already know how to do it in this podcast, man. We actually doing this one from the car. I decided today, I said, you know what, let me go outside. All right, let me get some nice inspiration of the world, of the sound of the night, the car swinging by, the wind hitting the car, open window, enjoy the air, but yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff going on, man. So y'all already know how to do this podcast. I come in, give you guys a talk about either an interview with a guest, or we go in and we start talking about a specific topic like this one. Are you really a developer, or are you a guy with a hobby? And how you're gonna get to become a developer if you're looking at things from the sideline, like you want to get into the game as soon as possible. Again, but this is how I like to do my podcast, where I just come in and talk to you guys, and then from there we jump into something that's happened, current events. And one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys is about the Kanye West podcast with Joe Rogan. Okay, the Kanye West with Joe Rogan, amazing podcast. Okay, I'm gonna put it out there, amazing podcast. Now, it's so crazy because most people won't be able to understand everything that Kanye is talking about in that podcast. They'll say, oh, Kanye crazy. Kanye don't know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? Kanye can't keep his thoughts in one topic. Kanye doesn't answer anything. But you have to listen to the podcast, because if you have an open mind, if you understand, how things work in the world, and imagine this world is, let's say that we live in a fourth dimension, right? So there's, 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, 4 dimension. So let's say what we see is a fourth dimension, right? Now, when you see a game, that's 3 dimensional game. When you see like a game like Mario, that's a 2D game, right? What we see through life is a fourth dimensional view of things, right? And if you really understand that concept, you could go in and listen to that podcast and break down every single thing that he says. Forget about that even Joe Rogan was there. Okay, the podcast wasn't really for Joe Rogan. The podcast was really for Kanye West to let his mind flow. And, it's just like how he said, he's when he's talking, some people might say it's a rant. It's not really a rant. It's a symphony. He's just, giving you a whole bunch of ideas at the same time. Now, initially it's hard to understand them, but when you sit down and lay back and you're like, man, let me listen to this. Break it down for every single thing that he said, every topic that he got into. Break it down and just listen to every single thing that he says, man. It just made a lot of sense to me. I feel like sometimes when I do live streams and I wonder, do people are people able to understand everything that I'm telling them? Because I am throwing a lot of things at you, right? I am throwing a lot of different topics, a lot of different references, a lot of different type of jokes, and different things that most people are not able to understand. When you are a creative, your mind works different, right? Your mind, it's like async JavaScript, right? The synchronous JavaScript, right? Most people's brains work synchronously. When you are a creative individual, it's all async. You have one thing that's working at one time, and then another thing is working at the other time, and another new task just came up, a new idea just came up. That's how you think. That's something that I feel like I have myself. Like my mind works like that. So everything that Kanye was saying, I'm just picking it up. It's like, shit. I'm just like, yo, async, new task, new task. I'm catching up. Like I'm listening to one thing that he's saying, and I'm like analyzing something that happened 5 minutes before that he had just said. Like my brain just captured the whole thing and said, oh, ooh, that was a gem. But at the same time, I'm listening to the new thing that he's saying. It's like so many different things that was happening in there. So I would say definitely go check out that podcast. It's very inspirational, because it's just sometimes like one of the reasons that I love about like Kanye, right? And you see, I do the same shit. Like I go in, I'm talking about one thing and switch up to the next thing. One thing that I love about Kanye is the fact that whatever he put his mind into, he makes it happen. This was a dude that was, you know, young black kid, one of those black kids that people be like, man, you ain't really black. Yeah, y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Sometimes, if you've been around, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like he doesn't fit the mold of what a black person is to society, or to what even a black person is to themselves, right? So in a community, you might stand out. You might just be like, man, like I'm no gangster. I'm no, I don't got no attitude. I don't have any of this shit. I'm just me. I'm just, shit, I might just be into books. Hey, shit, I might just be into Star Wars. Shit, I might just be into anime, right? People that know what I'm talking about know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like you've been in some situations where people be like, oh, you ain't black? Like you ain't really black? Like as if being black means being a certain type of way. And that certain type of way is what society tells you, like, oh, this is what the black man is supposed to be like, or this, and that, right? When in reality, it's like, nah, I'm a human being. And just like every other human being from every other race, we have different types of personality and different type of individuals. Okay? But that's one thing that I love about Kanye. You know, Kanye is that dude that people will say, man, you can't become a rapper. You're not a rapper. All right, cool. Watch me. You can't make beats. All right, cool. So now I'm gonna start making beats for myself. Becomes the most freaking popular, famous, and successful producer of all time as a hip hop producer. Then from there, people still telling him, yo, you can't rap, bro. You're not gonna become a rapper. You're wearing pink polos. You don't have the swag. You're not a gangster rapper. You don't have no attitude. You don't have this, and that. Kanye say, watch me. I'm gonna make it happen. Made it happen. Okay? Then on top of that, people say, man, yo, you can't dress. Watch me. I'm gonna become a designer. Became a designer. Goes to freaking Italy and studies, for an internship in Prada. Comes back with all of that knowledge, right? His mentee becomes the head of the creative director at Louis Vuitton, right? At the same time, him becomes one of the most famous shoes designers in the world, now worth $5 billion, okay, was worth $3 billion, ended up working a deal with the Gap. By the way, if you guys are smart, this is a little tip that I'm gonna give you guys. I have about $40,000 invested in the Gap. Okay, my money already doubled. Before, like, the first few days, where I can't say before, but it was like the first few days when Kanye said that he was gonna do a collaboration with the Gap, I went in, invested $40,000. The money already doubled. Okay, it already doubled. We're talking about thousands of stocks of the Gap. If you guys don't know what the Gap is, right? Gap is pretty much, they own, I believe, Banana Republic. They own Gap. They own Old Navy. They own a whole bunch of freaking companies. Okay? Now, they're doing a collaboration with Kanye where they're going to be basically producing his clothes. By now, I'm talking about a few months later, my money already doubled. Okay? If you're smart, I would say get even now. Maybe it won't double, but you could get a little nice little 20% when he drops his clothing line in there. Because the goal is to make clothes that is going to be affordable and that look good on people. And that's dope. And whatever Kanye does becomes gold. So you got to be smart. You got to look at opportunities out here. But again, that's one thing that I love about Kanye. He sets his mind, and now he's worth $5 billion. From somebody that everybody told him, you're not the typical rapper. You're not the typical producer. You're not the typical designer. Everybody put a door in front of him, and he broke that shit down and said, nobody tells me what to do. Nobody tells me what I can become. I just make it happen. So that's one thing that I love about Kanye West, man. So definitely go check him out, man. In that interview with Joe Rogan. We can't even say it was an interview with Joe Rogan, because Kanye just gave him nothing but facts and gems. At the end of the day, Joe Rogan was just in there. Joe Rogan was a passenger in the passenger seat, and Kanye was driving a Ferrari going 100 and something miles per hour. All you heard was like Joe Rogan saying, yeah, sure, like, he was there to do ad-libs. That was the Kanye show. Okay, so definitely go check it out. All right, now the next thing that I want to talk about, you know how I do it, right? We talk about some current events, right? We talk about a topic that has been happening, or a topic from development, etc. The next thing that I want to jump into is the final part of this podcast, which is literally, What type of music am I listening to, right? So because we're listening to, or talking about Kanye West, we're actually going to bring out, you know, the the album of Kanye, which is Cruel Summer. There's a song in there that's called New God Flow. It's Kanye West and Pusha T. And there's a few lines in there that are crazy. Pusha T killed it. Pusha T's dope. But I'll give you guys just a little glimpse of how that song goes, right? There's a line that Kanye says, "Hold up, man. I ain't trying to stunt, man. But the Yeezys jumped over the jump, man." Like, like just with that line alone, I'll tell you everything. I mean, if you need some context to understand like what I'm talking about, if you guys don't know, Michael Jordan is the biggest, you know, sports celebrity of all time. Is supposed to be one of the richest, uh, NBA players of all time, and created the Michael Jordan shoes, right? The Jordans in collaboration with Nike. Jordans, for anybody that don't know, if you're not part of the culture, you don't know what it is, right? I don't know what rock you've been on. You know what I mean? Like, dude just came out. Dude just came out of a rock. Like, yo, oh, it's like 2020. That's the year we in. I was under a rock since 1964. If you've been under a rock since 1964, Jordans are the biggest sneakers in the world. Right? They are like the most popular sneakers of all time. And the Yeezys have jumped over the jump, man. Yeezy, which is Kanye West, is literally worth more money than Michael Jordan and the brand itself. So at the end of the day, you know, Kanye has done some crazy shit, man. But that's the song for me for today, guys. I believe it's in Cruel Summers. Kanye West. It's good music. It's a compilation album. It has Kanye West. It has Big Sean. It has 2 Chainz. It has Pusha T. It has a whole bunch of people. Ghostface Killer. If you're into hip hop, you know the song, right? But the song is called New God Flow. Go listen to that. And that's what I'm listening to right now. Right before I came here to this podcast and this whole live stream with you guys, that's what I was just bumping. So that's pretty much it, man. Anyways, man, since we got some extra time, we're gonna read some comments in here. We're gonna see what you guys are talking about in the comment section. Again, this is a podcast, right? When I do the podcast, I don't really answer no questions. But at the end of the day, we do answer some questions at the end of the podcast. Uh, Miguel Nicolas says, "Why do you do these videos? Market the courses?" Nah, as you guys can see, we just talked for an hour. We haven't mentioned that we got courses. I mean, matter of fact, I think we mentioned it one time that we have courses. But you have to understand, like, I didn't get into this game to create courses. I think, and I'll be honest with you guys, like, me creating courses was probably the worst thing that I did on a personal level. Like, I spent 3 years and a half creating courses, creating a curriculum for people to be able to become developers at home and to really get into the game. But to be honest with you, it's literally the worst thing that I've done for my career and my life as a developer. Like, I could have been building applications. I could have been freaking building themes. I could have been working at companies. I could have been doing a lot of cool shit. But I was at home trying to create, courses for you guys to help you guys get into the game and for anybody in the future, right? Sometimes you got to put yourself out there and create something that's cool, because if nobody else is going to do it, then you got to have, you're gonna have to do it. I mean, that's just how it is, right? But why do I do these videos? I just love it. I love helping people out. I love having conversations with you guys and talk about different topics. You know, I'm pretty sure this is a question from the beginning of the podcast. I'm pretty sure you felt some type of way. Some guys, they feel some type of way when we talk about certain things. Like when I say, hey guys, if Vue.js doesn't make sense to learn, people get mad at me because I'm like, I'm actually looking at the jobs and I'm like, there's not that many jobs for Vue.js. So why would I learn it, right? And then it's the new case of like, hey, there's jobs for merge stack, but it seems like all the people that are getting hired have experience, and then the majority of people that don't have experience are not getting a job. Let me talk about it. So you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to help people out, right? Like, I'm not trying to, come in here and be like, yo, it's like, I'm gonna create a video, get some views, get popular, and sell my courses. Like, nah. Like, my courses is gonna sell if they're gonna sell. I'm not gonna be here and be like, hey, man, I'm gonna create something to specifically sell a course. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the beauty of being independent. When, you know, creating courses is not my job. YouTube is not my job. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. A lot of people, this is their job. This is not my job. I do this because I want to do it. Now, if I'm going to invest time into it, shit, you might as well get paid for it. That's it. It's like you're getting paid for something that you probably would have done anyways, right? Like I could have probably went and had like maybe like two mentees, like 2-3 guys that I help out to get into the industry, and the same knowledge that I'm giving you guys, I would have probably just taught it to them, right? And that's it. But the entrepreneurial way of things is like, why would I just help 2 people when I could just go and help thousands and thousands of people and shit, make it affordable so they don't have to go to a boot camp. They don't have to do the same mistakes that I did. I took a whole bunch of courses at the end of the day, and I signed up to a whole bunch of different platforms, and I had to still figure it out how to do this thing on my own. And then on top of that, I was about to go to a boot camp. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm actually saving people money, helping them out, and doing something that I love. So that's why I do these videos. So yeah, let's see what else. Somebody says, Joe, expose the hustle. Yeah, man. Look, I don't think people are hustling out here, but like I think it's obvious. There's a lot of people that have never worked at companies, and they're literally teaching you guys about, code. It's like there's guys that pop up and blow up, on YouTube, and they don't have a solid year as a developer. A solid year, meaning they haven't worked at a company for a whole year. They haven't worked, but yet they're telling you what to do. It's like, bro, hold on. You started a year ago. 6 months later, you got a job, and then now you're teaching on Udemy, or you're creating freaking advice videos on YouTube. Like, yeah, like, do I need to expose it? Nah, I think you guys should know about it by now. Let's see. I'm reading some comments here. See which ones have a question. Guys, you have to put a question mark for me to know that there's a question. This is how I know I have thousands or even hundreds or whatever comments in here, right? We can't say thousands, probably hundreds of comments, right? So for me to find out which one is a question, put a question mark, guys. like that, I know exactly what you're talking about, okay? Let's see. Somebody said, Joe, I heard that the ones that had a lot of success from a boot camp put in 16 hours a day for like 3 months and lived in a major tech hub. A lot of times that happens. A lot of times. And that's the problem with boot camps, where they come in and tell you, hey, we got this 3 guys. They just got $150,000 job, and At the end of the day, you look around, you're like, okay, cool, but can you tell me what's the average of the developers? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, man. 150,000, you want to get that? But I just want to know what's the average. What's like everybody and like how long does it take for them to get a job? Listen, man, don't worry about that. Worry about that. There's guys that are making $150,000. You're gonna work hard, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm gonna work hard. So don't worry about it. If you work hard, you're gonna get $150,000 job. And like, as if that happens for everybody, right? Like there's dudes that work hard and still don't get that $150,000 job, bro. Like, just give me the average. I don't want anything else. That's it. Give me the average. Okay? So let's see what else. Let me see. Let's see. Da da da. Yeah, man. Krellock says, yeah, that's their hustle. Yeah, that's their hustle. You know what I mean? But you have to understand this, like, this is something that most people don't understand. Like, boot camps are usually funded by the same companies that own, Apex. You heard of Apex? Or you heard of what's the name of the company? The online school, Arizona Phoenix Online or some shit. Arizona Phoenix Online, Phoenix Online or something like that. ITT Tech, right? Some guys think like, yo, there's a guy that just opened up a boot camp by himself. I don't know about that. You know what happens? A lot of times, most of these companies, they're getting funding by the same people that we as a society right now go in, but oh, I'm not going to ITT Tech. Little do you know, they own the boot camp that you're going to. Oh, I look down at the, Apex, whatever, Apex, a freaking HVAC system and whatever it is, fixing, I don't know, freaking what they fix the freaking mechanics and shit like that, and they fix like AC systems and things like that, right? Some guys they'll be like, I look down on that. I'm not signing up to no training school. Little do they know, they own the boot camps. They are the one funding the boot camps. Like, look it up. You know what I mean? Like, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. It's like, hey, man, nobody wants to become a trade worker. Cool. What's out there? What's popular now? Oh, coding. Oh, shit. We about to make a killing. We was charging $10,000 to get guys into mechanics and this and that. Shit, but because there's guys that are getting $120,000 a job, $150,000 jobs, bro, we could charge $30,000 for one guy in coding that we signed up to a boot camp. It's the equivalent to getting 3 guys in Apex or ITT Tech, right? Those guys are paying $10,000 to get in there. Now, instead of them investing into that, they're like, yo, I'd rather invest into boot camps. We do this shit every 3 months. We get new students in. We put them into a debt. The freaking banks come in. They buy off the debt from us. They pay us cash, right? I don't know if you guys saw that. Like, look it up, man. There was a thing that popped up last year with even Lambda. There was a whole situation where they talked about it. It blew up. Just Google Lambda controversy. Lambda controversy. Look that up, right? And I don't like talking bad about nobody's business, and that's great. They have somebody creates a business, finds an opportunity, but at the same time, it's always shady when it's like, yo, you signing me up to a loan, and then people come in, buy the loan off you, and they pay you cash, but then now I'm stuck with it. I'm stuck with this loan. You get what I'm saying? And it's a lot of boot camps like that. A lot of boot camps closed up. Was it Iron Yard? A lot of them. Go Google it, man. There's nothing that you can do other than Google. But yeah, man. Miss Thomas says, can you go live on YouTube and Twitch? Twitch always alerts me you on. Yeah, I do. I usually do on on certain days, but when I do it like this through the phone, then I can't really do it. I can't go live on both. Let's see, Joe, what's the next niche site the people should be looking at? I don't know, man. I haven't really focused on each sites for a while, so if I come in and I give you some information on each site, it's outdated by like 6 months, right? I'm literally outdated on each sites for like 6 months. I haven't done no research on that. I haven't really been out there, so I don't want to give you guys info on that. But what I can tell you, what I've been doing is Shopify. So Shopify, and I've been talking about it like a million times, but Shopify is the wave. You can create themes, sell your themes. You can create applications, sell subscriptions to your applications. You can sell individual applications. You can sign up people for a subscription, $10, $15 a month, $30 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month. Okay? Like, yeah, Shopify is the wave. That's where you need to be at. So if you're really interested in making money as a developer, I think that, yeah, that's the way. Vince Sanchez Tayan. Hey Joe, I don't have a college degree. Should I learn MERNStack or PHP? PHP jobs has 500 vacancy and vacancy, I guess. And Node.js has only 300. 300. I mean, you're saying it yourself. PHP has like 5,000. Node.js has like 300. So if in your area there's like 5,000 jobs for PHP, that's a no-brainer. You gotta go and do your own research, bro. The stats is telling you right there. This is what you need to be focusing on. Now, if you want to be out here crazy and like do your own things, like hold on, I can make it happen for myself. It's like, all right, bro, you go on that journey, right? I've seen guys that even come to my own website, CodingPhase.com. Again, shameless plug, where we do have, over 80 courses in there. You can sign up for $20 and get started, okay? Get access to all of that. It's the best deal that's out there. Shameless plug. But what I'm saying with that is that, you know, you want to put yourself out there. So, if you look in an area, there's a whole bunch of jobs there for a specific stack or a specific technology. Like, that's what you want to learn. That's what you want to go for. You don't want to waste no time. Because, like I said before, there's guys that are talented. Like once you understand how to program, how to do web development, what you want to do is you want to really go and make yourself stand out from everybody, because everybody's learning to code. Everybody's trying. I mean, and not even when we say everybody, like, I'll be honest, bro. I bump into people every day, B. Like, I'll be outside. Like, I'm outside, bro. Like, Corona ain't stopping me. I put my mask on. I'm outside. I'm mingling with the peoples. I go to the corner store. I go to the Wawa. I go to the dollar store for the pizza. I go to, Dollar Tree. I go to everywhere. I go to the chimney spot. I'm a people's person. I like to be around the peoples. Okay? Now, what I can tell you is that I've never bumped into somebody that told me I'm doing code or I'm doing programming. Most people are not in this thing. Now, there's a lot of people that's online, like, on YouTube and little things like that are getting into programming, but the average people, the population, like, this isn't popular. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody wants to get into this thing. Most people don't want to be working in front of a computer. Most people think that this is difficult. Most people think that you need to have a degree. Most people think that you need to be the smartest guy. So automatically they're disqualifying themselves. So, when we say a lot of people are learning to code and stuff like that, we can say a lot of people are trying, But then on top of that, then we got to say not even that many people are even going to go to a job interview. But yeah, this there's a lot of guys that are getting jobs and opportunities, but look at that. I mean, every month I look online and I search like HTML, right? HTML, and almost every month there's like 30,000 jobs. 30,000 jobs, right? Now, and that's all over the US. Then from there, we have about 300 million people here in the US. Okay? And every month, it seems like every job gets picked up. People get hired, people get hired. So let's say here in the US alone, right? At any given time, there might be, let's say, if we follow Traversing Media, right? Traversing Media, I think Traversing Media is the perfect example for stats of how many people are in the industry. Let's say Traversing Media got 1 million subscribers. Out of those 1 million subscribers, 30% of them are developers. Okay? 30% of them are developers. The rest of them are people that is around the world, but 30% of them are in the US. My fault. Not developers, but people that are in the US. Out of that, probably that are following Traversing Media, maybe 40, 50,000 of them are actually people that are hired. And then probably the rest of them, which could be like 200, I don't know, 260,000 of them, right? 260,000 of them are people that are trying to get into the industry. Not that they're applying to jobs, not that they're ready, not that they're this and that. Probably every month there's about 100,000 people that are ready to get hired as developers, and probably out of that 100, maybe 30,000, 20,000 of them get hired. So at any given point, there's like 100,000 people that want to get hired, and probably like 20,000 people get hired every month. I mean, those are statistics that you could see yourself. You could do your own research. Right? I'm just giving you guys, a close ballpark of like the real numbers. But again, it's a lot of opportunities, a lot of different things that's out there, man. And most people won't even put themselves out there. So if you worry about that, don't worry about it, man. Just keep doing what you got to do. Joe, I tried several people into this, signed them up to a free platform, but no one followed through. Yo, I tried to get several people into this and even signed them to a free platform, but no one followed through. Yeah, bro. People are not trying to put in the work, bro. They're not. Okay. All right. And last one, to BM or blackout. Joe, how competitive is New York when it comes to looking for a job? It depends. A lot of the jobs in the city are very competitive. It's just like San Francisco, right? Jobs in the city, like the major jobs, are very competitive because you got to think about it like this: San Francisco, New York City, LA, right? Austin, Texas, right? Even some part was it Denver, Colorado. There's some parts like even like Vegas, like some parts that we could say they're sort of like tech hubs. Atlanta, Georgia, right? Like people are moving from out of state. People will apply. There's a guy that just graduated from an Ivy League school, right? With a great portfolio. He been working hard. He been doing this, and that, and he wants to move to New York City. So even though you live in New York City, that doesn't guarantee you that you will get the job. That was one of the main problems that they had with Amazon. When, I don't know if you guys remember, a few years ago or a year ago, I don't know when it was, Amazon was going to open up some offices in Queens, New York, my hometown, and they was going to do like a whole bunch of different jobs in there and da da da. But none of those jobs were guaranteed to be for New Yorkers. So people were like, "Yo, get these people out of here, bro! Like, get them the fuck out of here, bro! Like, straight up, it's New York shit, right? They're like, yo, get them the fuck out of here, bro! Like, we're not gonna give you guys free, tax-free location, and we not even getting no jobs, because that's what was gonna happen. Amazon was gonna open offices, and a whole bunch of people were gonna get hired from all over the country. It wasn't gonna be for New Yorkers. So you, as a New Yorker, don't expect that you're gonna find jobs in the city. It's not a given thing. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, we're gonna give our opportunities to people that are locally, but if they have the budget to relocate somebody, they'll relocate somebody to New York. That's why you'll see, you could be a New Yorker, live there for 20 years, and you start seeing, hey man, what happened, man? What happened to the neighborhood? They're bringing in, a lot of companies are bringing in a whole bunch of, you know, gentrify dudes, Gentrification is real in New York City. They're getting everybody out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to be in New York City. I'm not in there. I'm out of there. But I mean, that was a personal choice. Nobody gentrified me out. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, man, New York City is not the same. They'll bring in somebody from Kansas who has, some type of experience and whatever, and they'll hire them over there in New York. So you, as a New Yorker, don't expect for you to get hired just because you live in New York. But where you could find a lot of opportunities initially, because once you have experience, then now you really become part of the industry. And this is what this whole live stream and this whole podcast is really about. Without no experience, you're a nobody. You're just a dude with a hobby at home. So what you want to do is you want to apply to those small businesses, medium-sized businesses in Brooklyn, Queens. Well, they'll pay you that $50,000, $60,000, right? Maybe that startup in Dumbo, right? You go to Dumbo in Brooklyn, they'll hire you, right? You go to there's some parts in the Bronx that are getting gentrified, right? Because gentrification is not all bad. It's bad, but not all bad. Because at the same time, it also brings in new businesses. Okay, and there's a whole bunch of low, trendy yuppies that move in there that got money, right? Papi and mommy kids that now they are the small business, and then now they hire you as a local developer. So they'll give you the opportunity to be like, oh shit, if we want to hire somebody here in the city, it's gonna be $120,000. If we're gonna hire you for the first time, shit, we'll give you 60, half the money, but it's worth it because now at least you're in the game. All right, guys. So definitely, man. Symbol says makes sense. It definitely shows it's so clean, organized when it walk around. Da da da. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Symbol says I've been over a story. Damn, it's nice over there. Yeah, a story is legit too. I like a story. I love Astoria Park, man. Me and my wife used to go over there and walk around through there all the time. That's one thing that I love and miss about New York. Like, we was watching this show called, and this is the last part of the podcast. We talk about things about life and things that's happening right now. So me and my wife were watching this show called Grand Army. Go check that show out. It's on Netflix. Grand Army. And it was crazy. At one point I was like, man, yo, I miss New York. I really do. Because it's like right now I'm out here sweating. I'm sweating right now. But right now in New York, this is hoodie season. This is where you put your hoodie on, throw some Timbs, come outside like, yo, what up, my dude? Boom, boom, boom. Everybody's like, yo, you got 5? I don't got no 5. I don't smoke no more, bro. And just keep it moving. I miss those days, bro. I miss, like, coming through the hood and passing by like, yo, what's popping, bro? You know? Plus, I know, like, here nobody knows me, right? But if I would have been in New York right now, bro, strip clubs still popping, Corona season, dudes is in there with the freaking mask on. I think the best thing that I did was move out of New York, because even like I'm here in Tampa, Florida, like I don't know nobody. So I'm really just like a family man, right? I'm just a family man. I got businesses. I do my own thing. But, bro, if I was in New York, I would be out, bro. I would be outside. When I mean I'm outside, bro. Like, yo, I probably would have been like, yo, y'all would have seen me with a crazy chain on, to put some rims on this car. Like, I got this shit stocked. I probably would have put a vinyl, wrapped this whole shit around. You know what I mean? Here, I don't get that mood. Nobody knows me here. I'm in a freaking good neighborhood, mad white people. Like, I want to blend in, right? But it's the truth. I'm in the suburbs, you know. But if I would have been in New York, bro, I probably it would have been a different situation. Going to the strip clubs, going out, hitting the clubs. I would have been doing a live stream right now with like, 10 G's in my pocket. Like, yo, we're starlets right now, throwing bread in the air. Like, yo, what up? But again, that's that New York feeling, man. That's that New York feeling, man. And I kind of miss it. I'll be honest, but I think I'll go back for vacation. I don't know. Maybe I'll go for Christmas time. Rent out a nice Airbnb in the city. Now that we could really ball out, go to Airbnb, rent, a nice little spot in the city, have like the whole New York City behind us, something nice, and we'll do some content over there. Show you guys, bring you guys to the hood, take you guys to Washington Heights, take you guys to the Bronx, take you guys to the chimney spot, take you to the hookah spot, you know what I mean? Take you to a couple of cookouts, you know what I mean? A couple of cookouts. Dudes be doing cookouts in New York even when the shit's freezing. Like, yo, we open up the fire escape, bro. Open up the fire escape. Put this shit on the grill. You ever, you ever had a barbecue on the 6th floor? Bro, that's New York for you. You know what I mean? Like, you ever, yo, when I think about that shit, I think about those days, bro. Like, doing a barbecue on the 6th floor, and you got people on the fire escape on the 7th floor, on the 5th floor, the 4th floor. They all coming up like, yo, you got my sandwich, manín? Like, yo, I got you, manín. And come down, pass on my presidente, pass on my corona. Like, yo, we got you. Dudes is in a corner rolling up. You know what I mean? Like, that's the mood, bro. That's the vibes. It's like I feel like I don't know, man. I need to get back on my shit, bro. Like, there's days I look back, I'm like, bro, like I don't even keep myself fresh, bro. Like, I'll be honest, like y'all see me, this is daddy mode. You know what I mean? Like, this is, you know what I mean? I already got the gut. Like, this shit, it never would have happened in New York, bro. Cause my boys be like, yo, bro, you gotta hit the gym, bro. And then we gotta go play some ball in Star Park, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the type of mood. Cause that's where I'm from. You know what I mean? Like, that's my neighborhood. You get what I'm saying? Like, dudes be like, yo, bro, you looking like a dad, bro. Like, what you doing with this, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm from, New York, man. But at the end of the day, I feel like it kind of saved my life from not being in New York, because I look around and I'm like, bro, I'm in a spaceship, bro. Like, if I'm in New York with this, bro, and I got money in my pocket, shit, I might have had like a couple of side pieces. You know what I mean? F up my whole marriage and everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking to you guys for real. You know? So it's like sometimes God puts you in positions, so things could go good for you. Who knows? Right now I would have been in New York. I would have been like not even paying attention to my businesses. I would have been like, in the streets, like, yo, let's go pick up some shorties in the Bronx real quick. Bring them to the telly. You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes your friends are your worst enemies. You could be in a zone of, I want to do good, but your friends are like the devil. They come in and like push shit in your ear. Like, Joe, she got a fat ass, bro. You can't let that shit go home. You know, like you ever seen that video where, they have like you got the devil and the devil and the angel on the side, right? You got devil and Jesus on both sides, right? And that's how friends are sometimes, man. But I do kind of miss my friends, I miss my neighborhood and things like that. But I'm kind of glad that I'm not there, because I feel like with everything that I have going on and everything that I'm doing, I don't think I would be able to do it in New York. Not only would I be paying mad taxes, but it's just the energy. Like, even though I miss it, but I don't think I would have been doing like what I'm doing. Like, I got a family, I got a nice crib, I got, I'm doing good things to the world, I'm helping people out online. Like, my friends would have told me straight up, like, yo, bro, you already got money, leave that shit alone. Like, I would have been like, yo, guys, I got to do a live stream for my subscribers right now and talk to them and do this podcast. My friends would have been like, yo, bro, we going to the spot, bro. Leave that shit alone, man. You already did a live stream today, bro. You don't need to do another one. Like straight up. My friends look at this shit like on some nerdy shit. They're like, bro, this shit is some nerdy shit. Leave this shit alone, bro. Like, come with me. So you get what I'm saying? So then negativity, like they'll give you some bad advice that maybe I could have, who knows if I would have been here. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it is what it is. Like, yeah, man. But I do miss New York, bro. Like, this is what I said. This is the podcast, man. This is CodingPhase, back at it again podcast, right? This is going straight to the audio on Spotify. Go check that out. If you're watching me on YouTube, God bless you. You got to see this live. Some of you guys that missed this out. And I'm thinking about actually removing all this podcast videos. Like, for the people that do watch it live, you get to watch it live. For the people that want to go and listen to it and check it out, you got to go to Spotify, bro. And that's what I'm thinking about doing it like that, man. This the end of the podcast, man. Mr. Black, I was like, yo, let me see inside a spaceship. Like, I'm in a spaceship, bro. Like, if you with your boys, you at the spot, bro, and you got money, bro. I'm 32 years old, bro. I'm living the life of a 38, 40-year-old. I'm at home. But if I was in New York, bro, that would be a different story, bro. I'm telling you guys ahead of time. Like, this is why it's actually good. Like, it's good that I'm out here. Because if I would have been in freaking, or Miami, like, that's why I was thinking about moving to Miami. But that's exactly why I didn't move to Miami. Because Miami would have been the same type of influence that I would have had in New York. I would have been, like, crazy. You get what I'm saying? I would have been crazy because it's all about who you around with. You know what I mean? Like, if your man pops up with the new Bentley, now I gotta pop up with the new Bentley. You know what I'm saying? My man goes and spends $10 in the strip club, now I gotta spend $10 in the strip club. Like, it's that type of energy and that competitiveness, you know? But that's the type of people that I hang out with, you know what I mean? Like, when you see me here on YouTube or on a podcast, like, you're getting, this is the PC Joe. You know what I mean? Like, you getting the PC Joe. Like, this is the watered down Joe. You know what I mean? Like, you're not getting the real Joe. You're getting the watered down Joe. You know what I mean? Like, this is the PC, learn how to code Joe. This ain't the street Joe. You know what I mean? When I'm in New York, it comes out, bro. This is the watered down Joe, bro. I had a little bit of Kool-Aid at the end, and you said, let me fill up the whole let me fill up the whole bottle with water. Now you got a watered down Kool-Aid. This the version you're getting right now. You know what I mean? Which is good. Again, it's not bad, but it's good, right? Because then it also allows me to focus on the things that's important. Like, imagine if I was really like worry about vanity and this and that, like how I used to. Like, I used to be like going hard, bro. Like, I have kicks that I haven't even worn. I have some Yves Saint Laurent sneakers in my house that I haven't even worn. I paid like $700 for them shits. If I would have been in New York, I would have been popping every week. Let's get the new Versace chain sneakers. Let's get the freaking the new Louis Vuitton sneakers. Let's get the shits that's popping right now. You know what I'm saying? Spending money for no reason. So it's like God kind of put me in a position where it's like, yo, Joe, keep it chill. Move to Florida, move to Tampa, relax. So at the end of the day, that's just how it is. But I always think about it. I'm like, yo, I can't wait until I touch down. When I touch down back in the city, it's a wrap. I already told my boy Drew, when I touch down in the city again, like Christmas time, we hitting the spots, bro. You know what I mean? I need me a set of twins. You know what I mean? Like, but I touch down, send me a twin. You know what I mean? Send me the twins. That's it. Bring down the golden hookah for me. You know, nah, that's like when I touch down in the yard, bro. I'm like King Joe over there. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm just telling you guys stuff about life, and this is the end of the podcast, kids. You get what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys enjoy this, right? At the end of the day, I just want to point this out too, just before some people take this shit so serious, This is all jokes, guys. I would not be hanging out with anybody. I wouldn't cheat on my wife. I wouldn't do anything like that, because some dudes be like, damn, Joe needs a couple of set of twins. Like, it's a joke. I'm over exaggerating, okay? Ain't nobody bringing down no golden hookah for you. You know what I mean? Like, you're just a regular dude with money. In New York, there's a lot of dudes that sell work that got bread, bro. Like, you just a regular dude. But are you really though? You know what I mean? Like, CodingPhase, bro. Keep this quality of camera so clean, wide, and better than the phone one. Yeah. Now, listen. When we do this for the phone and this live streams, this is just for the live streams, man. We definitely gonna keep the quality. We're gonna be dropping a lot of good quality videos from now on. But at the same time, I feel like this type of experience that you get here of just me on my phone, just me talking to you guys and just having fun with it, like, you need this in your life. Believe it or not, this raw thing that we do here, that's not polished, that's not crispy, that's not super edited, you're getting the real life shit, and at the end of the day, there's benefits to it, because somebody could come in and be like, damn, this guy's mad polished, this guy has like a legit show and this and that. Like, I don't know if this guy's real. Like, when you see me on my phone and I'm just talking to you, like, this is just like a regular conversation between two peoples, It's like FaceTime, right? So what you're seeing here is like real life. It's not like me showing up with the crew. It's like, here comes Joe. It's like, here comes Joe with another video on YouTube. He got a film crew. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't take that guy serious. You know what I mean? Even though some people say they want to have the crispiness and all this stuff, bro, I'm telling you ahead of time, you don't believe nothing that somebody tells you if they got a film crew. I'm like, yo, somebody wrote that for him. You know what I'm saying? Right now, people will be like, all this shit that Joe talked about for this whole hour, this whole 2 hours, Joe got an earpiece. He don't really talk like that. His name is Joseph Smith. You know what I mean? He's really from Ireland. You know what I mean? He's not really Dominican. He don't really got the Dominican flow. Like, dudes be like pointing shit out. I was like, hold on, he's too polished. Like, he's too polished, bro. He's too polished, bro. Like, there's something off with that guy. He's too polished. It doesn't seem real. He got an earpiece. He's, shit, conspiracies would have been happening by now. But like, he's not really Dominican. I think he's Irish and Colombian. Like, he's not really. People come up with shit, bro. This is the internet, bro. Anybody could come up with anything, bro. And even at that, like, I always say this before I leave, always remember, me, right? You've gotten to meet me. You've gotten to know me here on this channel, on this podcast. I'm just a real dude, just like you guys, just a regular person. Like, we're talking about coding, we're talking about bettering our lives. But to be honest, I'm not better than any of you guys, and nobody's better than me, right? I'm just a regular person that somehow I work hard, and I found different strategies to get into the game. Like, I didn't want to be the smartest guy. I didn't want to be the guy that's on conferences. I want to be the guy that's successful, that got money in his pocket. That's it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be the guy that's teaching courses. This is not something that I wanted to do either. This is something that fell on my lap, that people wanted me to do. Like, do I look like an instructor? You get what I'm saying? Like, do I look like a guy that want to be making courses? You got to answer that question. You know what I mean? Like, do I look like a guy that want to be on a computer talking about, hey, guys, this is how we do a HTML tag? Like, I'm not that guy. I'm doing it because people wanted me to do it. People wanted to learn from me and wanted to get my experience and how I got into the industry, because I'm an interesting character. When you think about it, you're like, damn, this guy's from New York. This guy is really from the hood. This guy, he's really about that life. Like, he's out here. Now, how did he become a developer? Shit, if he made it, I could make it too. So that's where it really comes down to it. And it's like people wanted me to do this. This wasn't what I was destined to be like, man, I'm trying to, I woke up today with the freaking monocle in my eye. Like, I want to become a instructor. It's like, nah, bro. Like, I'm doing this shit because I freaking genuinely feel like I'm touching people's lives. I'm helping people out here that maybe they're doubting themselves. Maybe they don't think that they could do it. And by me showing them that they can do it, and I've done it, and I've done, have a successful career as a developer, like it kind of shows them, like shit, man, maybe I could do it too. And then if they follow what I've been teaching them on the courses, they get it done, and then they come back and say, thank you, Joe. You know, like this shit, I've seen it plenty of times of guys that come into my courses and my YouTube channel and my community. They get the job, and all you hear is nothing but good things. You know what I mean? That's it. But yeah, man, it is what it is, guys. I'm gonna see you guys later. Take care, man. Joe Scotch and he's Scottish and Korean. He got the double eyelid surgery. You know what I mean? Like he's really Korean, but he got a surgery in Korea. You know, that gap that he got, that's not really his gap. You know what I mean? When he goes home, he takes off the fucking veneers. You know what I mean? He got all his teeth in there. That's a fat suit that he got on right now. Like that's not real. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, listen, I love doing this, guys. Love cracking jokes and just hanging out with you guys. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this podcast. I'm gonna see you guys later. It's your boy Joe back at it again. CodingPhase.com. If you want to support what I do here, and not even just to support, but just allow me to teach you guys how to code. Like, trust me, I know how to teach you guys to get into the game. If you give me the opportunity, the most that's gonna cost you is $20 to test out the website, and if you don't like it, you get a free freaking full refund, and that's it. And you keep it moving. But at least you say, you know what? Let me give this a try. You know. But like I said, I'm just here to help you guys out. All right, guys. It's your boy Joe back at it again. CodingPhase.com. Take care. Love you guys. Peace. Send me some twins. I'm joking, guys. Peace.